Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I recently uploaded a video all about like 10 minutes of living with obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD for short, and I wanted to do another video, kind of like a follow-up, mainly just because I wanted to get in front of the camera properly and speak in a little bit more detail about the condition and how it affects people. I will leave links in the description box down below, so if you think you may be suffering from OCD, you guys can go and check the links out, and maybe it will give you more of an understanding about the condition, or maybe it'll give you more like, okay, well, I definitely need to go to my doctor to speak about this. Don't be ashamed to go and speak to your doctor about it either. I actually have been suffering from OCD since I was a very, very little kid. I always just thought to myself, like growing up as it got worse, I thought to myself, well, this just must be what people do. And to an extent it is what people do. It's when it gets to a point where it's severely impacting your life that it stops you from going somewhere, because it's like such a task, I think, to just leave the house, because you have to check that everything's off, or you have to do things a certain way in a correct sequence. You have to do little rituals in order to step foot out the house. I remember as a very, very young kid having to do things in a certain way and having little rituals and sequences in my brain, and I thought that was normal. And as I got older and older, it got worse, and it kind of developed and changed over time into something that was and is severely impacting my life. And I was ashamed to go and talk to my doctor about it. I just thought, you know what, you're making a fuss over nothing, it's fine, it'll go away. But it doesn't, and it never will unless you get certain treatments in place to help you manage the condition. Everyone who has OCD kind of has it in their own little way. It's kind of different for everybody depending on your worries, depending on the things that you feel like you have to do in order for your life to run smoothly. My OCD is based a lot on my anxieties and my worries, and so when I go to leave the house, I have to make sure that every single plug socket is off, and I go around and I check multiple times. I like to make sure that there's nothing plugged in that could, you know, hurt anything. So if there's like a plug-in diffuser on, I'm really funny about plug-in diffusers because they can very easily catch fire. I like to check that the oven is off correctly. And again, you know, I'm checking all of these things like multiple times, and it takes me forever to get out of the house. That's just what mine is. If I've had my straighteners on, I need to check like 50 billion times that they're off. So anything electrical, anything like the oven and things that could potentially cause a problem in the home, I'm very protective over the house. I'm very protective over my animals. So yeah, for everyone, it's kind of just different depending on your situation, and it so badly can impact someone's life because, like I said, you know, because it's such a big task to just do something simple like leave the house, you won't want to leave the house. And so in that respect, we're kind of like prisoners in our own home. And on top of that, because of all of the anxieties and the worries that someone with OCD may have, or will have rather, even when they manage to leave the house or do whatever they're doing, there's still just this constant thoughts going around in their brain of like, oh well, did I do that, and did I do that, and did I check that, and is that off correctly, and but did I do that right? Our brains are always on the go, and our brains are always thinking about things. And currently, to treat my OCD, I'm taking sertraline. I'm also in contact with Talking Changes, which is people who focus on all different kinds of mental health, anxiety, depression, OCD, and they give you treatment depending on obviously your situation, how severe it is, and things like that. So I would say please just go and get some kind of treatment and help from it, and all of that starts from speaking openly about it and admitting that you have what you have. Because for me, I was like, no, it's fine, I don't have anything like that wrong, it's cool, like, and that was the same with me for all of my mental health problems. It was all just like, no, it'll be fine, it'll go away. And I just kept putting it to the back of my mind and putting it to the back of my mind, and eventually it all just came to a head, and it all just, something clicked inside of me, and it was like, oh my gosh, like, these are things that need to be sorted. So don't be like me and don't leave it until the last second. You know what, as people, I think people with OCD, we're very set in our own ways, and anything or anyone that disrupts that, we just like, we flip. We cannot handle people interfering with our rituals, with our little sequences, and if anything like goes wrong, or someone talks to me or anything like that, I have to start all over again. And that's the same with pretty much everyone who has OCD. If something distracts you whilst you're doing certain things, that's it. We don't want anything bad to happen. And on top of that, we just don't want anyone coming in and doing things differently, because then we don't know for certain if things are being done correctly. In our brains, it's like we're not doing anything wrong, but deep down we are, because we're obsessively thinking about things and how, you know, oh, well, this could go wrong if I don't do that, and so on and so forth. So like I said, links will be in the description box for if you ever think that you are suffering from OCD or could have OCD. What is your experience with OCD? I'm only just beginning to realise that I do have a problem with this, and so I've probably missed out a lot in terms of just what living with OCD actually is. So if you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. If you're new here, click on that subscribe button. Thanks a lot for watching once again, you guys, and I hope to see you in my next video.